We stay on the crime-related stories. KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zikelala calling on all sectors to join in the fight against crime. The Premier addressing delegates at the Provincial Crime Summit that's taking place in Durban. Zikelala says reducing crime is not the sole responsibility of the police. Senior reporter Dasen Thathiah is at the summit and is joining us now. Good afternoon, Dasen. I understand you've got a guest with you to further discuss the issue of policing in KwaZulu-Natal, Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi.
That's right, Dan, and I think we'll continue that chat in a little while as I unpack this further, but I actually want to bring the Provincial Commissioner into the conversation now. Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, thank you so much for your time and thanks for your patience as well. I think there's always a concern when we have these summits that it's going to be a talk shop, especially when you look at the recent crime statistics and you see where we are with the murder rates. Our 3 stations are in the top 10 there for murder, top 30 rather for murder. What do you believe has gone wrong so far, and what will change as a result of the summit that we're seeing here today?
Yeah, well, thank you so much for inviting me. I do hope that when the fact that the Premier arranged this summit, that we're able to bring government, business, traditional leadership, and society at large to come and try and find a solution. So that's what I hope, that with everyone putting the efforts together, we might come up with solutions.
You mentioned during your presentation that it's more than just the SAPS that is involved in fighting crime. There are other organs, there are other entities. You also spoke about the overcrowding in our jails. With all of that in mind, what then does that mean for you as the SAPS when you see these statistics coming out year upon year, and you see our stations that feature prominently when it comes to violent crime? Are your hands not tied to a certain extent?
Yeah, well, we need to engage with different stakeholders that are going to assist us. When we are told that the prisons have got 3,000 more than what they're supposed to have, the question will always be about how many people must be in prison. We've got 11 million citizens there. So if we're going to take half of that to prison, who's going to be left behind? And will really that be a solution? The answer is no. So when we look at it as the police looking at the perpetrator, the person that is committing crime, what motivates this person? What is it that drives this individual to commit crime? And that's why we bring all the stakeholders in order to find answers and solutions to that. And also look at the victim. The person is a victim of crime. But how are we treating that victim? Is the action of government department as a whole or justice system as a whole giving a satisfaction to this person or not? So it's important for us to interrogate and get answers to all those, because we don't want someone to become a victim. So therefore we need to give advices as to how can you prevent. We don't want the person to become a victim that is not satisfied, is not happy with the service that is getting from government. Therefore we need to, as a value chain, from the police to prosecution to judiciary and to corrections, we have to come up with answers on how do we satisfy this victim and make sure that, because it doesn't have that the police will arrest someone and send him to court, but the court will grant bail to this person.
And that's a big problem. There's another problem as well. I mean, I heard the MEC for Community Safety speaking about this, and I think she used the words, we need to plead with our municipalities to improve conditions in certain areas. Because when we look at crime, we look at societal factors as well. So to that end, we constantly hear this, that there's a challenge for police because there are no lights. There's a challenge for police because of the way the informal settlements are structured. What conversations are being had by yourselves with these other government entities to correct that? Otherwise, we'll constantly find ourselves in the position that we are, where you're not able to effectively police because of those issues.
Well, you can appreciate that the president came up with a strategy which speaks about district model, that every department and every entity that is within the district needs to have a plan on what they're going to do to improve the performance of that district. From the law enforcement, and identifying in that plan from law enforcement as to who must do what, because in our plans we do reflect that. Will we expect the city to do A to Z? in order to prevent crime, and the police will do this and that one will do that. So if we are going to strengthen those, and we all put our plans together, we all held accountable for those plans, we all check each other in terms of deliverables on those plans, I believe that there will be some improvement, especially in as far as the role that the municipalities are playing, because that's where things are happening in the district level.
Thank you so much, General. And I think that is the question now, to make sure that those things in fact happen, Brad Dan. So these are some of the conversations that are being had here at the summit about some of the issues or the reasons why we are seeing the types of crime levels that we have. You know that KwaZulu-Natal has a problem with violent crime, and the crime statistics reflect that. So over the next 2 days, there'll be different minds that will be talking about that as one of the issues. There are academics here, there is the traditional leadership, government, as well as the SAPS, obviously. And after that, we will have to wait to see how those resolutions are implemented to change the face of those crime statistics as we see it.
Thank you very much, the Dasen Thathiah in Durban.